Coin problems. How exciting, we get to deal with money. And coin problems are the same format you will use for most of your value type problems. When we think about coin problems, we have to think about two things. There are two types of coin problems. One, where you're just finding the amount or the number of coins. So the amount or the number of coins. If it involves value, then you have to set up the problem differently. Sharanya has 9 more quarters than dimes and twice as many nickels as dimes. If she has 73 coins, how many of each does she have? All I need to worry about in this problem is the number of coins. I can set this up like any other word problem, and you could probably do this on your own. So why don't you pause here and try it? If you want a little clue here, we can start with X being the number of dimes. Then she has 9 more quarters than dimes and twice as many nickels and dimes. And she has 73 coins altogether, so dimes plus quarters plus nickels equals 73. And I had X dimes and X plus 9 quarters and 2X nickels. And you should go ahead and pause here and solve that. I got 16 dimes, 25 quarters, and 32 nickels. That will be the easiest type of coin problem you will do. When they involve value, you need to consider the following. You'll have to set up a let statement for each number of coins. Then you have to determine the value of your coins in cents and the total of that value in cents, set up an equation, solve, and of course we need to check. Before we do this, let's take a look at value. What's the value of X nickels in cents? The value of 1 nickel is 5 cents, 2 nickels, 10 cents. 3 nickels, 15 cents. 10 nickels, 50 cents. So what are we doing? We're multiplying the number of nickels by 5. So 5x is the value in cents of X nickels. How about 2x minus 6 quarters? Well, a quarter is each worth 25 cents. Now, notice that I'm avoiding the decimals, and I'll explain that in a minute. The value of 1 quarter, 25 cents. 5 quarters, 125 cents. 2x minus 6 quarters is going to be 25 times 2x minus 6. Or, if you prefer to write it out, it's going to be 50x minus 150. 12 dimes, that's an easy one. That's 120 cents. And these are all in cents. X nickels and Y dimes. So we're going to have 5x nickels plus 10y dimes. That concept is very important. If you think about the tip, this is what I was talking about earlier referring to cents. What would make that equation easier to solve? Well, what would make it easier to solve is if I had no decimals. If I want to clear the decimals, I want to be thinking about what would clear out those decimals. I have 2 decimal places that I need to worry about. I can multiply the entire equation by 100. It's fair because I'm multiplying the whole thing by 100, and then I would get 25x plus 5 times the quantity x minus 6, and that equals 460. And believe it or not, that's an easier problem to solve. So that's why I encourage you to set up these equations in cents. Let's see how this works. Fidel has twice as many quarters as nickels. If he has $9.35 in coins, how many of each coin does he have? So the first thing I need to worry about is the number of coins. Well, it already told me he has twice as many quarters as nickels. So what do I know the least about? The nickels. Remember, that's the number of nickels. And then he has twice as many quarters. So I have 2x for the number of quarters. And then I need to think about the value. What is the value of x nickels? In cents, it's 5x. What is the value of 2x quarters? Well, to get the value of nickels, I multiplied by 5. To get the value of quarters, I multiply by 25 since that's the number of cents in 1/4. I would have 50x. Now remember, we're setting this up in cents. So $9.35 is 935 cents altogether. I'm going to have value of my nickels plus my value of my quarters equals to 935. 55x equals 935. And if you divide 935 by 55, you get 17. Now pay attention because I want to show you how you check these. I would have 17 nickels and 34 quarters. Now notice I'm not putting this over with my let statement, and you'll see why. Because right next to that, I'm going to ask myself, what is the value of 17 nickels? Well, you should be used to dealing with money. That's 85 cents. Now notice here, I'm checking it as money. 34 quarters, what is that value? If we divide 34 by 4, we would get 8.5, which is $8.50. And if I add that up, I get $9.35. So the check is really checking that the money makes sense. Let's try another one. Elena has $2.30 in change. The number of dimes she has exceeds the number of nickels by 5. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is set up my let statements for the number of coins. She has 5 more than the number of nickels. So I let X be nickels because I don't know anything about that, and then I can let X plus 5 be the number of dimes, and this is the number. And then my value for nickels, I multiply by 5. My value for dimes, I multiply by 10. So to get my value here, I'm going to get 5x nickels and 10 times the whole quantity x plus 5, which is 10x plus 50 dimes. So I know her value is going to be 5x plus the value of the dimes, 10x plus 50, and the whole thing is 230 cents. So you can go ahead, pause here, and solve that. As you can see, I got 12 nickels and 17 dimes, and I did check my value that it works out to $2.30. Let's try some on the back. Here's a great one. This goes back to our total problems. Andrew has $4.70 in nickels and quarters. There are 30 coins in all. How many of each kind are there? I'm going to set my stage. If I let X be one of the coins, I don't care which one. Let's let it be the number of quarters. How many nickels do I have? Let's say I have 5 quarters. How many nickels are there? Well, we're told there are 30 coins in all, so he'd have to have 25 nickels if I have 5 quarters. If I have 10 quarters, then I have to have 20 nickels. So what am I doing? I'm subtracting the number of quarters from the total to give me the number of nickels. So my value of quarters then is going to be 25 times that, or 25x. My value of nickels is going to be 5 times that entire expression, which is 5 times the quantity, 3 minus x, which is 150 minus 5x. Now a little tip here also, you notice that I set up x for the quarters. It's a little easier to multiply 5 by the expression 30 minus x than 25. So you might want to be mindful about which variable you're using there, because if I had had something that was more difficult, I would not have wanted to multiply that by an expression. I would rather have it just be 25x. And my value is $4.70. I have 25x plus 150 minus 5x equals 470 cents. Pause here, solve for the solution, and check your answer. I got 16 quarters, 14 nickels, and that does add up to $4.70. Why don't you try the next few on your own? Number 6 can be a little challenging. If you're struggling, I will go through that one. The other 2 I'll just post the answers to. If you have any questions, then you can circle them, highlight them, and we'll talk about them tomorrow. Number 4 and number 5, you can see the answers listed, and they do check. Number 4, they were just looking for the number. You did not have to worry about value. If you'd like a little help with number 6, you can stick with me, or if you've already done 6 and you want to check your answer, you can fast forward. For the number of coins, I let X be my number of quarters because everything kind of is a domino effect after that. So there's 3 times as many nickels as quarters, and the number of dimes is 4 less than the the number of nickels. Find how many of each. So I had my value for quarters is 25x. I had my value for nickels was 15x, and my value for dimes was 10 times the quantity, 3x minus 4, which is 30x minus 40. If I add all that up, I would get for my value 70x minus 40 equals 660 cents, finally getting x equals 10. 10 quarters, 30 nickels, and 26 dimes. If I check those answers, I would get 250 plus 150 plus 260. And when I take a total there, I do get $6.60, which checks. Yeehaw! Great job tonight, everybody. Let's work more with coin problems tomorrow. Have a great night.